So you just tell me. I mean, I can do 3 or 4, do 1, I do 3 or 4, just so that we get you some practice.
Senate will come to order. And we'll do a roll. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Roll call in the Senate for Day 2, February 10th, 2026. Anderson.
Here.
Barlow.
Present.
Boner.
Here.
Brennan.
Here.
Case.
Present.
Cooper.
Here.
Crago.
Here.
Crum.
Here.
Dockstetter.
Here.
Driscoll. French.
Here.
Guru.
Here.
Hicks.
Here.
Hutchings. Ide.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
Cole.
Present.
Landon.
Here.
Larson.
Here.
Love.
Here.
McEwen.
Here.
Nethercott.
Here.
Olson.
Here.
Pappas.
Excused.
Excuse. Pearson. Rothfuss.
Here.
Salazar.
Here.
Schuler. Scott.
Here.
Steinmetz. Driscoll.
Here.
President Beitman.
Here.
31 present, 1 excused.
Thank you, Ellen. Today's chaplain of the day is Bishop Stephen Bigler, representing the Diocese of Cheyenne, and he will offer the prayer for today, so please rise.
Let us pray. Almighty and merciful God, we praise you, for by your word you have made all things and created human beings in your image and likeness. We thank you for endowing us with knowledge, understanding, and right judgment, and for entrusting us to be stewards of creation, with responsibility to govern in accord with your wisdom, justice, and mercy. Today, Lord, we lift up to our public servants in the legislature. May they begin each day rooted in prayer and humbly seek your guidance. Grant them wisdom, that they may be led by the light of truth. Grant them justice, that the laws they enact may uphold the dignity of every person. Help them to be slow to speak and quick to listen. Give them hearts marked by humility and patience, and ears open to the insights and goodwill of others. Inspire them with respect for one another, so that their deliberations may always be guided by civility and carried out in a spirit of respectful dialogue. May they think and act with a spirit of friendship and goodwill, mindful of being brothers and sisters within one human family. May their words be shaped by prudence, self-control, and equanimity. Sustain them with perseverance and strengthen them always to seek what is good and to avoid evil. Lord, we thank you for the generosity of these men and women who are serving as legislators, and we entrust them to your care. Inspire the people of Wyoming to support them through daily prayer and to join them in working for the common good of all. Amen. Thank you for your service. I promise to keep you in my prayers.
Senator Rob. Reading correction, approval of journal. Will the reading clerk please read the journal committee report?
Mr. President, the Journal Committee reports that the Journal of Monday, February 9th, 2026 has been read and recommends that it be approved. Senator Crum, Chairman.
Are there any objections? There being none, the report is adopted. All right, new business. We have no doctor of the day, so be careful today, Senator Grew. All right, Senator Barlow's got you. Today in Wyoming history, in 1883, the Reverend John Roberts arrived at Fort Washakie. He became a pivotal figure, establishing schools and working closely with Shoshone and Arapaho leaders, including Shoshone Chief Washakie for over 60 years. Quote of the day: "It is amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit." Harry S. Truman. The dad joke of the day: "I used to be afraid of speed bumps, but I'm slowly getting over them." Especially the ones in the parking garage. Whose idea was that? Seriously. Can we formally protest that? We should start an anti-speed bump caucus. So that's that. Okay, announcements. Today we have some special guests, and let's get on with those. First off, we have Council General Sarah Quigley from Canada. Our good neighborly friends to the north are here again today. As most of you know, Canada is Wyoming's largest trading partner, buying more from our state than from our next two largest trading partners combined. They are also our closest ally, as well as our partners in energy, mining, agriculture, and so much more. We are fortunate this morning to have a friend from Canada Council General Sarah Quigley. Come on in and say a few words. Oh, there we go.
I have a pretty loud voice naturally, so. Thank you all so much. I'll be very brief. It's an honor for me to speak before you today. This is my first trip to Wyoming. I started about 6 weeks ago as Consul General, and let me tell you, the Wyoming welcome is alive and well. So thank you. It's been fantastic. I'll be very brief. This is an esteemed crowd who knows what I'm about to say, but we share a really special relationship between our two countries, not just on history and geography, on personal ties, but on trade and on defense and security. Senator Beitman already expressed how strong the trade relationship is, but it's also a strong defense and security relationship. And we're committed to maintaining and growing that relationship, especially this summer with the advent of the renegotiation of the USMCA. And I know we can count on your support towards free and open trade. So thank you so much. Let's leave the rivalry on the ice next week for the Olympics, and may the best men and women win. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That would be Team USA. Oh, gotta love hockey. Good rivalry coming. They always come before we play each other. You notice that? We should have them back after and see how it works out for them. Okay. Next, we have the Boys and Girls Club. Yes, today we have Dustin Ailport, is that how you say it? From the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Wyoming, who is the president of the Area Council for the Wyoming Boys and Girls Clubs. We are also joined by Jan Cundy, the National Area Council representative for Wyoming and Montana with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Accompanying her are the 3 Outstanding Youth of the Year candidates. Fellow senators, please join me in extending a warm welcome to these distinguished guests.
I want to extend a thank you to all of you for having us and letting our children and the Youth of the Year representatives from across Wyoming show up on the House. It's an honor to be here. And I want to acknowledge we have 6 organizations across the state and over 27 sites. And they're all, have you stand up, they're board members, family of the Youth of the Year, and staff. And without the staff and all of these volunteers that we have, there is no way that we could do what we do for the youth of Wyoming. We have, like I said, 6 organizations and 27 clubs. We have feed over 317,000 meals and snacks across Wyoming for free to all of these youth. And we have over 20,282 contacts, those are 2024 numbers, with our youth, which is an amazing thing. And as you'll notice on our shirts and some of these blue shirts, Wyoming needs club kids, and the back says, Club Kids Need You. And that is definitely very true, and I thank you for all the support that you give for all of these kids. I happen to be the representative of the board members for my Wyoming and Montana, so I have 6 organizations here and 7 in Montana that I represent on the national level. And Dustin Ailport is going to introduce our Youth of the Year, and he is the president of the Area Council for Wyoming, so he is the head of the Wyoming board members. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jan, and thank you all for this opportunity. It's very appreciated. I'd like to introduce first Derek Ketchum. He's with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Wyoming. Derek, can I step forward? All right. And then I'd like to introduce J.C. Notman. She's with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Douglas, Wyoming. And then we have our winner this year, which is Nathan Hurley, and he's with the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Wyoming. So I'll hand it over to them.
Hello, my name is Nathan Hurley. I'm a 16-year-old sophomore currently attending Central High School and was nominated to represent the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Wyoming. If you asked me 2 years ago where I thought I'd be, it would have never crossed my mind that I could be up here on this stage, competing against all these other amazing people and telling my story to all of you. My life wasn't always the easiest. I grew up never knowing my biological parents and suffered from mental health issues for a long time before attempting to take my own life. I spent 2 years in hospitals before finally being released. That's when the club first came into my life. I was scared to go at first, nervous to meet new people, and worried they'd judge me. But I'm so glad I decided to take that first step and go. My life immediately got better at the club. I met so many amazing people who were easy to talk to and fun to be around. I was always in such a rush to grow up and be an adult, but being at the club taught me being a kid wasn't a bad thing. The club has strengthened me as a person and developed me into a leader in many ways. In 2024, a friend at the club suggested I join ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps, a program I am currently thriving in. ROTC has developed me into a confident leader in many ways, such as helping guide and direct roles in a squad of 8 people, learning patience and diligence when setting up a uniform, and even discipline and strength from hours of training for Raider competitions. Between ROTC and the Boys and Girls Club, I've accumulated 250 volunteer hours, from helping out at Cheyenne Greek Fest to working at the local food bank, although my favorite has been coaching flag football for younger members. The club has truly become a second home to me, giving me the confidence and motivation to chase my future goals. And speaking of future goals, since joining the club, my goals for the future seem so much easier to obtain. For a career, I plan to study at UW to become a surgical technician before eventually becoming a surgeon. I've been asked by quite a few people why I want to pursue that path, and the truth is, losing people you care about is the hardest thing. I know because I've recently lost 2 siblings, so if I can save others, I will. And I don't plan on being done with the club even after I graduate. I hope to come in and talk to others about mental health. These aren't easy to talk about, and I want to change that. Okay, with all the serious stuff out of the way, there are a few more things I hope to do in my future. Volunteering won't stop. I plan to volunteer at least twice a month, but every week would be really nice. But probably my biggest goal for the future is to travel. Many people don't understand the world isn't just black and white. Learning new cultures helps you understand how other people see the world. And I want to see the world from all angles. I'm sure my future has many twists and turns ahead, but I'm truly excited to experience it all. And the club has given me the confidence to know I can do it. I've changed so much since joining, from being a shy kid who felt out of place to a young man who knows he has a bright future and people to stand beside him while he chases it. Thank you to the Boys and Girls Club for giving me a chance to come up here and speak with all of you. I feel truly honored to call myself a Youth of the Year candidate, and thank you all for listening to my story.
Thank you all once again, and just to add into that, all of these amazing youth got scholarships today, and the story changed a little bit. He was going to go to LCCC, they got a full ride scholarship today to UW. So just to add that on there. Thank you for all that you do, we appreciate you more than you know.
Well, before you leave, hold on 1 second. On behalf of the Wyoming Senate, we wanted to honor all 3 of you. Derek, there's your certificate of acknowledgement and appreciation from Wyoming, from the legislature. Nathan, congratulations. You are more articulate than I will ever be. Congratulations. Phenomenal speech. Very good. Future's bright. And you too, JC. Thank you so much. And it's an honor to have you here. Thank you for what you do, and everybody here, congratulations. Well done. Thank you. All right. We're at that point of introduction, reading, and reference of bills. Oh, we're a privilege of the floor if Senator Landon happens to have one.
Mr. President, thank you so much, and I know we want to get started and get busy today, but may I have privilege of the floor real quick?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Fellow senators, yesterday I forwarded some electronic email because you haven't been getting any. I thought I'd sneak one in there. It included a couple of attachments that point to all the work that's been done since we gavelled out last year. All the work that's been done in this beautiful, historic building. And I just wanted to take a moment and recognize the co-chairman, our state auditor. I've served with her the past 3 years to accomplish all of this work. And it's not really about that. It's about reminding everyone, if you get a chance, please take the time to maybe even go floor by floor and take a look at these beautiful historic exhibits and visit Suffrage Hall. And remember why we designated an entire hall of the state capitol for that purpose. We're the first government in the world to allow women the right to vote. That's a big deal. But it goes on from there. The Constitution kiosk in the historic Supreme Court room and the foundations of progress down on the garden level. There's so many things that, and so many people contributed, Mr. President. I hope you'll have the time to do it and really take a look at how this place has been finished up. In 2 weeks, we're going to have a little ribbon cutting for the civics lab. That's the room off of the auditorium down there. You might have seen the sign, and that's all about our school-age kids who get to come down here and visit the state capitol. And it's made especially for them. It's an opportunity for education and a chance to take part in civics. So I'll leave it at that, Mr. President, but please take a look at the attachments that were provided. Ms. Davidson, Ms. Madsen, they've been amazing. Our staff is amazing, and tell them thank you if you get a chance. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Landon, and we will thank them, but I think the Senate owes you a big debt of gratitude for all the hard work you put into this over the years, Senator Landon. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Senate File 19, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 19, epinephrine delivery methods, sponsored by Senator Rothfuss.
All right. Senator Rothfuss.
Mr. President, I move for the introduction of Senate File 19 and ask the body's favorable consideration. Mr. President, we have several places in statute where we refer to epinephrine largely in Good Samaritan type circumstances. When we refer to the delivery of epinephrine, we almost always use the word auto-injector because traditionally that has been the delivery system through what we call an EpiPen frequently. That has changed. Now there are nasal delivery systems and other alternative delivery systems. This bill simply generalizes statute without changing any policy to ensure that all types of delivery systems are available for Good Samaritan and public use. I'd ask the body's favorable consideration. I vote.
Thank you, Senator. Roll call is required, as is a 2/3 majority vote. The chief clerk will call the roll.
Introduction roll call, Senate File 19. Anderson? No. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Garou? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? Aye. Ide? Aye. Jones? Aye. Kolb? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? Aye. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? Aye. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 19, 29 aye, 1 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 19, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 10, Labor. Senate File 23, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 23, outpatient examination and commitment length, sponsored by Senator Schuler.
Senator Schuler.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for introduction of Senate File 23, outpatient examination and commitment length. This is a constituent bill that was asked for from a judge in our area. And basically, it just expands the list of examiners that are qualified to perform an involuntary hospitalization. And it also amends the time limit on directed outpatient commitment. The problem that we're having over in our neck of the woods, and I'm sure some of the rest of you do, is that the court has to appoint one examiner to examine someone when they think that there might be an issue with mental illness. Once they give them notice, they only have 7 days to be able to get that examination done. We don't have a lot of psychiatrists that do, the ones that we do have are working at the state hospital. Psychologists, same thing, we have very few, and we're seeing fewer and fewer physicians. And obviously, we're kind of an outlier over there with the state hospital, so we do probably have more of an issue than others with this. So what we're doing is we're just adding the licensed advanced practice registered nurses and the PAs to the list of examiners. And then on the last page of the bill, you'll see that the judge asked if we could take out the 2 years review. We'd like to review every 6 months and make sure that they're on the right path. With that, I'd ask for your favorable consideration.
Thank you, Senator. This requires a roll call vote and a 2/3 majority to pass. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introductory vote, Senate File 23, Anderson? Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Guru? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? Aye. Ide? No. Jones? Aye. Cole? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? Aye. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? Aye. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 23, 29 aye, 1 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 23, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 10, Labor. Senate File 27, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 27, leash dogs for tracking black bear, sponsored by Senator Landon.
Senator Landon.
Mr. President, thank you. I would move Senate File 27 for introduction and ask for your favorable consideration. Mr. President, leash dogs for tracking black bear. This is all about the ability to do that under a statute that was created a few years ago, which allows for a leashed dog to be used to track animals. Many of us in the room have hunted big game and other species, and one of the ethics that I think was drilled home early and often from my father was the fact that we don't leave an animal out in the field. That's really what this bill is about. The black bear would be included under 23.3.108, which is the use of dogs statute. It would be included in with big game animals as a species that you will be allowed now under this bill to use a leash dog to go get the animal. Bears can be very good at running off and away and are more difficult to track if you don't have this ability. This bill actually came to the Travel, Recreation, and Wildlife Committee late in the interim. It was not an interim topic, and so we didn't take it up as a committee. But we felt pretty strongly that there was good testimony and good reason for the bill, and so I hope you'll support it. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Roll call vote is required, as is a 2/3 majority vote. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introduction vote, Senate File 27, Anderson. Aye. Barlow. Aye. Boner. Aye. Brennan. Aye. Case. Aye. Cooper. Aye. Crago. Aye. Crum. Aye. Dockstetter. Aye. Driscoll. Aye. French. Aye. Guru. Aye. Hicks. Aye. Hutchings. Aye. Aye. Jones. Aye. Kolb. Aye. Landon. Aye. Larson. Aye. Love. Aye. McEwen. Aye. Nethercott. Aye. Olson. Aye. Pappas excused Pearson. Aye. Rothfuss. Aye. Salazar. Aye. Schuler. Aye. Scott. Aye. Steinmetz. Aye. President Beitman.
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 27, 30 aye, 1 excused.
Senate File 27, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 6, Travel. Senate File 34, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 34, roadside safety amendments, sponsor Senator Barlow.
Senator Barlow.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I would move for introduction, Senate File 34, roadside safety amendments, and ask for my colleagues' favorable introduction. Colleagues, this is a bill, like many of yours, that comes from my community and folks who work alongside of our roads trying to keep commerce moving. Not always, when you break down on the road or have a flat tire, do you need to be a tow truck to come and get you and get back into town. Sometimes the repairs can be effectively and more efficiently done on the side of the road. But what these folks are finding is that they don't have some of the same abilities to warn the traveling public about their work on the side of the road. So what this bill does is allows roadside service and repair vehicles to utilize the white and amber lights, and then when they're actually at an accident or at a service site along the roadside, they can utilize the red and blue lights. What often occurs is when an accident or something occurs, law enforcement is there, but then law enforcement departs, and the folks doing the work on the side of the road are left there for maybe an hour or 2 or 3 later. So this is just a way to warn the traveling public that these folks are there and to take heed so they can continue their work and continue commerce moving in the state of Wyoming. I'd ask for your favorable consideration. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Requires a 2/3 vote and a roll call. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introductory vote, Senate File 34, Anderson. Aye. Barlow. Aye. Boner. Aye. Brennan. Aye. Case. Aye. Cooper. Aye. Crago. Aye. Crum. Aye. Dockstetter. Aye. Driscoll. Aye. French. Aye. Guru. Aye. Hicks. Aye. Hutchings. Aye. No. Jones. Aye. Kolb. No. Landon. Aye. Larson. Aye. Love. Aye. McEwen. No. Nethercott. Aye. Olson. Aye. Pappas excused Pearson. Aye. Rothfuss. Aye. Salazar. Aye. Schuler. Aye. Scott. Aye. Steinmetz. Aye. President Beitman.
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 34, 27 aye, 3 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 34, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 8, Transportation. Senate File 35, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 35, School District Cell Phone and Smartwatch Policies, sponsored by Senator Schuler.
Senator Schuler.
Got a frog in my throat. Thank you, Mr. President. I would move for introduction of Senate File 35, School District Cell Phone and Smartwatch Policies, and ask for your favorable consideration. I brought a bill in the past to try to ban cell phones in our schools during instructional time, and I was kind of given the idea that I maybe need to look at more of a local control. So in the interim, I contacted about 12 districts to find out a little bit where they were. I had a couple that had started some policies, a couple that had already instituted a policy, one that was just doing a pilot policy, and then some that had no policies at all. And so I didn't get around to every district. I will be honest, I tried to, but a lot of people, it's hard to get a hold of them in the summer. But anyway, bottom line is this will just require school districts to adopt a policy that governs possession of cell phones and smartwatches. They can make the policy their own. They will need to take it, to the school board and have public testimony. And I think by allowing the school districts to have their own local control, this might be a better way to go than what I did in the past. So once they get that policy approved, then it goes to the state superintendent just to have it on file. So it says basically that we do have a policy. We all know that the damage that cell phones are doing, I think, with our students. If I could have gotten away with a ban, I think there's about 30-some states right now that have bans on cell phones in their states. But feeling like maybe this is a better way to go. Let the districts at least say that we've got a policy, our people are behind it, our kids have heard it, it's gone to our school board, and I hope you'll vote for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Roll call required, 2/3 majority vote to pass. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introductory vote, Senate File 35. Anderson? Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? No. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Garou? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? Aye. Ide? No. Jones? Aye. Cole? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? No. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? No. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? Aye. President Beitman?
No.
No. French, aye to no. Salazar, aye to no. McEwen, aye to no. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 35, 22 aye, 8 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 35, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 4, Education. Senate File 39, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 39, Long-Term Homeowner Tax Exemption Sunset Repeal, sponsored by Senator Crago.
Senator Crago.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move introduction of Senate File 39, Long-Term Homeowner Tax Exemption Sunset Repeal, and ask for the body's favorable consideration. Mr. President, 2 years ago, this body and the body down the hall passed a bill to provide a long-term homeowner's tax exemption. That tax exemption is a 50% exemption. It is set to sunset July 1st, 2027. And there's, I think there's some question about how that would apply to next year's tax year. And so really, this is our chance to remove the sunset and keep that particular program in place, at least for now. I think there's some other bills that are coming down the pike, but in talking to my folks back home, Mr. President, this is the most popular program we have. It allows people who are on fixed income to go in and apply. It does a lot of good for the folks out in Wyoming. And so I think it's important that we take the repeal out, keep the program going, at least for the time being, and appreciate your favorable consideration on the bill, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introduction roll call vote, Senate File 39. Anderson. Aye. Barlow. Aye. Boner. Aye. Brennan. Aye. Case. No. Cooper. Aye. Crago. Aye. Crum. Aye. Dockstetter. Aye. Driscoll. Aye. French. Aye. Guru. Aye. Hicks. Conflict. Hutchings. Hutchings? No? No. Thank you. No. Ide? Aye. Jones? Aye. Cole? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? Aye. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Conflict? Scott? No. Steinmetz? Aye. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Driscoll, aye to conflict. Case? No to conflict. Closing vote. Closing vote closed. Senate File 39, 24 aye, 2 no, 4 conflict, and 1 excused.
Senate File 39, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 3, Revenue. Senate File 40, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 40, State Lands Designation of Community Valued Land, sponsored by Senator Landon.
Thank you. Senator Landon.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would move Senate File 40 for introduction and ask for your favorable consideration. Fellow senators, this is a bill that simply establishes a process by which the Environmental Quality Council may designate lands as lands with significant community value, specifying required considerations for the Board of the Land Commissioners when considering those lands. Mr. President, this bill I brought after a project up in our neck of the woods over the last couple of years created quite a bit of attention and fervor, ended up in the courts. And I thought there had to be a better way of going about a change in lease for some of our state lands. So that's what this bill is all about. I worked with the corner office downstairs and tried to establish a better vetting process for a time when we decide to change a lease on a given property. And most of these properties that would come under this sort of review by a council or a commission are going to be contiguous to a community or adjacent to an area. And it might be land that is used for all kinds of purposes. All this does, Mr. President, it does not shut anything down. It doesn't put any other requirements on the SLIB board, except that it highlights if a piece of property is designated in this way. And therefore, that project would never end up on a consent list. And that's really what happened up in the center part of the state. It was a consent list, and it ultimately hit our elected 5 in the side of the head, really not realizing that that was a piece of property that was greatly valued. That's all it does. It does not do anything to interrupt current leases. If there's a grazing lease, for example, on that property, it's not going to come into play because it only comes into play if there's a change in that lease. And this gives the opportunity for a community to weigh in and further vet this on behalf of our elected five. So I hope you'll support the bill. I'd love to get it to minerals and continue to visit and maybe make it better. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introduction vote, Senate File 40. Anderson? Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? No. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? No. Garou? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? No. Ide? No. Jones? Aye. Kolb? No. Landon? Aye. Larson? No. Oh. No. Love? Aye. McEwen? No. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? No. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? No. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? No. President Beitman?
No.
No. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 40, 20 aye, 10 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 40, having failed to receive a 2/3 majority vote, Senate File 40 has failed introduction. Senate File 41, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 41, Portable Benefit Accounts, sponsored by Senator Olson.
Senator Olson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do move for the introduction of Senate File 41, Portable Benefit Accounts, and ask for your favorable consideration. So this bill deals with independent contractors. In the sense of this bill, it keeps the same definition of independent contractor that's been in Wyoming law for quite some time. But in essence, if you don't already know what that means, it means a non-W-2 employee, so a self-employed individual who's responsible for their own taxes, and they generally do not receive any type of traditional employment benefits. And that's what this bill seeks to change, is the benefits. It provides independent contractors with an opportunity to access portable benefits, that's what we call them. And the reason why they're portable is because they can carry them from one job to the next, or one state to the next, etc. Some key points are that it is completely voluntary for the independent contractor to be a part of a benefit plan, and it is completely voluntary for a business to contribute. And so it doesn't change the employment classification just by virtue of the benefits. That's another key point. And then lastly, just want to highlight what we're talking about when we're talking about benefits. We're talking about things like health benefits, income replacement insurance, life insurance, and retirement benefits. And what the bill basically in essence does is says those types of benefits can exist for an independent contractor, and an employer can contribute to that independent contractor's benefits, and they can take that benefit with them from job to job to job. And that's it, Mr. Chairman. I ask for your favorable consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introduction roll call vote. Senate File 41. Anderson? Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? No. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Garou? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? Aye. Ide? Aye. Jones? Aye. Cole? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas? Excused. Pearson? Aye. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? Aye. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing vote closed. Senate File 41, 29 aye, 1 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 41, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 10, Labor. Senate File 42, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 42, County Zoning Authority Amendments, sponsored by Senator Guru.
Senator Guru.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for introduction of Senate File 42 and ask for your favorable consideration. Mr. President, this bill, not unlike one we heard just a couple of minutes ago, talks a lot about temporary use permits on state trust parcels. This bill's difference is that what happens is if it's a temporary use permit applied for and approved by the state, it has to go through a county decision process, thereby electing to have local decision-making at the local level. This bill comes from constituents, not only in my community who have had issues with it, but in other communities around the state that now are feeling the effects of some of this decision-making on their local communities. When I dropped this bill, I had not consulted with the first floor and the lower office downstairs in the corner, but I got a call as soon as it dropped. And you know, if you've ever had the chief executive read the Constitution to you in his office, I recommend it highly. It's a lot of fun to have the chief executive read to you. But I did mention after he was finished that if 16 of us say it's constitutional, it's constitutional. And then it takes somebody down the street in a big black robe to say different. And so, but we had a good talk. And what I'm looking for in this bill is actually to have a wider conversation. Temporary use permits that are handed out by the state are for 5 years. But I'm sure you know that once those 5 years in, they just re-up and it goes for another 5 years. The average length of these temporary use permits right now in the state is 25 years. Many have been held for longer than that. And they're all around the state. I think we need to have a discussion with our 5 elected officials sitting as the state land board and this body, Mr. President, about land use on the 3.9 million acres of land that we have. What are our values on those lands? Because value for the state is laid out about value and monetary value on those state trust lands, but some of us have a different way of calculating value. And for some of us, in some of our communities, those values cannot be calculated by mere dollars alone. This bill contemplates that. This bill contemplates that discussion. I urge your support for this bill to have the discussion, and I urge your aye vote. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Senate File 42, introduction. Anderson? Aye. Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? No. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? No. Guru? Aye. Hicks? No. Hutchings? No. Ide? No. Jones? Aye. Kolb? No. Landon? Aye. Larson? No. Love? Aye. McEwen? No. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? No. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? No. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? No. President Beitman?
No.
No. Closing vote. Closing vote closed. Senate File 42, 18 aye, 12 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 42, having failed to receive a 2/3 majority vote, Senate File 42 has failed introduction. Senate File 43, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 43, Conservation District Supervisor Contracting, sponsored by Senator Hicks.
Senator Hicks.
Mr. President, I move for introduction, Senate File 43, Conservation District Supervisor Contracting, and ask for your favorable consideration. Conservation districts are a byproduct of the 1930s Dust Bowl era that the federal government formed the Soil Conservation Service. And for local entities to be able to invite the federal agency to come in there and help them resolve soil and water erosion issues, they had to form local districts with local elected boards. In 1941, the Wyoming Legislature adopted the model conservation district law to allow those entities to form conservation districts. We now have 34 incorporated conservation districts. The model law that was passed reads, "It is hereby to be declared the policy of the legislature to provide for the conservation of soil, soil water resources, control and prevention of soil erosion, flood, stabilize ranching and farming, to preserve the natural resources, protect the tax base, control floods, prevent impairments to dams and reservoirs, preserve wildlife, public lands, and protect and promote the health." We've since expanded their authority to participate in federal land use planning. Your districts now encompass a tremendous amount of activities across the state of Wyoming. But we have an archaic provision in our statutes from 1941 that says those district supervisors can't go out there and borrow money to implement, to buy conservation equipment, pick up buildings, and other equipment necessary to carry out their duties. All this is a repealer. It's a good little bill. Just puts it back to the voters. Keep in mind, these district supervisors are down ballot. They're elected by the people. Their mill levies go on the ballot. Those are put on by the people. But what we need to do is free up the opportunity for the districts to fully fulfill their statutory responsibility. In some of these districts, their mill levies are not real large. They can't go buy a pickup to implement, to allow their employees to go out and around without doing a short-term loan. Under the current statutes, that would be prohibited. This is a 1941. Keep in mind, in 1990, this legislature authorized those districts to go petition the taxpayers for a mill levy. Let's just give them the tools that they need to do and repeal this archaic provision in the statutes, but ask for your favorable consideration.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Senate File 43, introduction vote. Anderson? Conflict? Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Aye. Cooper? Aye. Aye. Crago? Aye. Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Guru? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? Aye. Ide?
No.
No. Jones? Aye. Cole? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? Aye. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? Aye. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 43, 28 aye, 1 no, 1 excused.
Senate File.
And 1 conflict, excuse me.
Sorry, I got ahead of you there. Senate File 43, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 6, Travel. Senate File 48, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 48, Stem Cell Freedom Act, sponsored by Senator Barlow.
Senator Barlow.
Mr. President, I move introduction, Senate File 48, Stem Cell Freedom Act. Ask for your favorable consideration. Colleagues, this is a bill that really, I think, changes the face of healthcare in Wyoming and quite honestly sets a path for our nation. This bill is based on the right to try legislation that this body has already adopted, and so has the U.S. Congress. And in this specific case, it allows stem cell therapy within meaningful, safety, ethical, and a legal framework, and only with patient consent. So, Mr. President, the basics are this. These are your cells for your own personalized and powerful medicine. No cells from an abortion or anyone else. The patient is fully aware of the treatment is not aware the treatment is not fully approved and understands the benefits and risks. There are numerous other safety provisions in the bill, including the requirement of a physician-patient relationship. Additionally, any treatment otherwise allowed by law is not impacted by this bill. In fact, this bill allows science to proceed as it is faster than government regulation. Insurance may cover it, but is not required to. And then there are some other basic provisions from right to try that are also included in this bill to maintain consistency. Mr. President, as I took up this bill from providers and have had numerous folks talk to me about the benefits of this, right now they are traveling out of this country to have this therapy. There is no reason why Wyoming can't provide this, do it safely, ethically, and legally. And I'd ask for your favorable consideration. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introduction vote, Senate File 48, Anderson. Aye. Aye. Barlow. Aye. Boner. Aye. Brennan. Aye. Case. Aye. Cooper. Aye. Crago. Aye. Crum. Aye. Dockstetter. Aye. Driscoll. Aye. French. Aye. Guru. Aye. Hicks. Aye. Hutchings. Aye. Ide. Aye. Jones. Aye. Cole. Aye. Landon. Aye. Larson. Aye. Love. Aye. McEwen. Aye. Nethercott. Aye. Olson. Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson. Aye. Rothfuss. Aye. Salazar. Aye. Schuler. Aye. Scott. Aye. Steinmetz. Aye. President Beitman.
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 48, 30 aye, 1 excused.
Senate File 48, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 10, Labor. Senate File 50, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 50, State Engineer Surface and Groundwater Study, sponsored by Senator Love.
Senator Love.
Mr. President, I move to introduce Senate File 50, State Engineers Surface and Groundwater Study, and request your favorable consideration. This bill is necessitated from a previous study that was done just over 10 years ago. The SEO's office procured that study. It was done by a third party. It created a control area in a few areas of the state for our most sensitive areas for groundwater and surface water use. In that, it put moratoriums on agricultural irrigation wells, some development spacing, and some other uses of water. And so at the time, it was recommended this be updated every so many years, but it was not put in the legislation. So out of meetings with the SEO's office and the local county officials, we believe it's the right time to bring this and update this study. Senate File 50 will ensure our state engineers operating from the most up-to-date information in regard to surface and groundwater and control areas. This will help support the future of agriculture, development, and our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introductory votes, Senate File 50, Anderson. Aye. Barlow. Aye. Boner. Aye. Brennan. Aye. Case. Aye. Cooper. Aye. Crago. Aye. Crum. Aye. Dockstetter. Aye. Driscoll. Aye. French. No. Guru. Aye. Hicks. Aye. Hutchings. Aye. Ide. No. Jones. Aye. Cole. Aye. Landon. Aye. Larson. No. Love. Aye. McEwen. No. Nethercott. Aye. Olson. Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson. Aye. Rothfuss. Aye. Salazar. No. Schuler. Aye. Scott. Aye. Steinmetz. Aye. President Beitman.
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 50. 25 aye, 5 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 50, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 5, Agriculture. Senator Barlow.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, privilege of the floor.
The floor is yours.
We've been at this for an hour and 5 minutes, and everybody needs a chance to stand up. So why don't we stand up and congratulate Senator Love for his first successful motion on the floor.
Yay! Well done, Senator Love. It's like you're an old pro. All right. Senator Barlow? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you can make a motion. Senate File 53, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 53, Keeping Amateurism in High School Athletics, sponsored by Senator Crum.
Thank you, Senator Crum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd move the Senate File 53, Keeping Amateurism in High School Athletics, and ask for your favorable consideration. This bill comes about, we're all aware of NIL and college sports, name, image, likeness, paying college athletes to go from one school to the other. It's ruined college sports for many of us in many ways and set maybe a wrong precedent. That comes about, though, through a basic premise that colleges and universities are making a ton of money off of athletics, and therefore the players ought to share in that pool. And so we get to where we're at with that, and that's a whole nother debate, but that's the premise, that colleges make a lot of money. The High School Activities Association in the past and then currently is talking about the same type of thing, name, image, likeness, allowing players to get paid to play sports in high school athletics within the state of Wyoming, i.e. A school in Cheyenne on the eastern side of town may offer a student a car to go over there and play basketball, and then the school, maybe more in the central part of Cheyenne, offer a school a pickup to go over there, that same student. What that does, it doesn't teach the student, you know, the value of competition, the value of overcoming adversity, the value of education, and what it means to be a high school student. And we're talking kids 13 to 17 years old. Again, we go back to that premise. I don't know of any high school in the state of Wyoming that's going out there, anybody saying, boy, these high schools are making a lot of money on these students, and therefore the students ought to share in the wealth that those schools are making. I think it's probably just the opposite. We're spending a lot of money to provide those opportunities for students and not making anything. So this is a way to shut down an activity before it starts, before the horse gets out of the barn,
And I would ask that we, again, that we keep amateurism in high school sports. This does not take away things like trophies, medals, providing meals for kids when they travel expenses, anything like that that currently goes on. This bill explicitly does not take that away. What it does, though, is keep from kids getting paid to play high school athletics in the state of Wyoming. So again, I'd ask for your favorable consideration. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Senate File 53, introduction. Anderson?
Aye.
Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Guru? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? Aye. Ide? No. Jones? Aye. Cole? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? No. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? Aye. Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Hutchings? Aye to no. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 53, 27 aye, 3 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 53, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 4, Education. Senate File 54, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 54, State Banks and SPDI Conversions, sponsored by Senator Rothfuss.
Thank you. Senator Rothfuss.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for introduction of Senate File 54, State Banks and Speedy Conversions. Ask the body's favorable consideration. Mr. President, this was the product, the work of the Select Committee on Blockchain and Financial Technologies during the interim. It's individually sponsored because it relates to Title 13, which is banking, and we're precluded from sponsoring legislation directly for banking. So it is the product of the Select Committee, but going through this process. This legislation is requested by our Speedy Bank community, some of the members, as well as the Division of Banking, working with them to provide clarity on how a special purpose depository institution could convert to a traditional state chartered bank, or a state chartered bank could convert to a Speedy Bank. We have those types of provisions throughout statute already for other financial institutions converting to other financial institution types. So this just provides clarification in statute. Under existing law, you would have to close down one bank and open another bank to do it, and obviously that makes no sense. So this is a good cleanup statute. We worked hand in hand with the Division of Banking to get it right, and I'd urge your favorable consideration.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introduction vote, Senate File 54. Anderson? Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Guru? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? No. Ide? Aye. Jones? Aye. Cole? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? No. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? No. Steinmetz? No. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 54, 26 aye, 4 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 54, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 9, Minerals. Senate File 55, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 55, Special Purpose Depository Institution Amendment, sponsored by Senator Rothfuss.
Senator Rothfuss, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Once again, I move Senate File 55, Special Purpose Depository Institutions Amendments, and ask for the body's favorable consideration. This is the other bill related to Speedy Banks from the Select Committee during the interim. It would have been nice if they could have fit in the same bill. They couldn't, so we have a second bill. This is cleanup amendments requested by the Division of Banking associated with our Speedy Banks. One amendment relates to the startup operation of one of these special purpose depository institutions. Other amendments conform to the way we do things with existing state banks so that they more closely resemble some of the business practices for how the commissioner oversees them. And the third is to establish a fund for, it's a remediation fund basically for a wind down and any potential unforeseen consequence in the future. There's no funding associated with that. That's actually funded by supervisory fees. So these are requested, again, work with the division of, or the banking commissioner, and largely clean up language to conform our existing statute as a product of the interim. I'll note, Mr. President, that the Speedy Bank started off obviously as a small endeavor for the state, but they've grown substantially, and at this point in time we have one of the largest financial institutions related to digital assets in the country, domiciled in the state of Wyoming. So our largest Speedy Bank has over $5 billion of digital assets under custody. So this is a big deal now, Mr. President. We're proud of this. Thanks.
Thank you. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Senate File 55, introduction vote. Anderson? Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? No. Guru? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? No. Ide? No. Jones? Aye. Cole? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? No. Love? Aye. McEwen? No. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? No. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? No. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? No. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 55, 22 aye, 8 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 55, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 9, Minerals. Senate File 56, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 56, Kratom Product Regulation, sponsored by Senator Landon.
Thank you. Senator Landon.
Mr. President, thank you. Fellow senators, I would move Senate File 56 for introduction and ask for your favorable consideration. Senators, chances are you don't know what kratom is. I know 6 months ago I didn't either. Kratom is a plant-based substance that is currently sold across Wyoming by numerous retailers, including gas stations, without oversight. Often described as synthetic heroin, its effects in high doses have been compared to fentanyl. It is dangerous, it is unregulated, and it is claiming lives in our communities. Like many other bills that I have brought to the Senate over the years, Mr. President, this one came from a constituent, a friend. She is getting over devastation of the last year and a half because a year and a half ago, her son committed suicide. The coroner has indicated that this substance was in his body. 2 other coroners have reached out to me in the meantime since I began to draft this legislation and have indicated that this substance is also in the systems of other suicide victims. And I regret to tell you, senators, that here in Laramie County, the coroner here has identified the first victim of an overdose of this product. It's out there. It literally has displays in some of these retail facilities. It's a dangerous drug. I could go on and on about the chemical makeup and all of those sorts of things. If you go online, there's all kinds of information about this product, Mr. President. We can get into that if you are supportive enough to send this on its way. I think it's worth our conversation. I just began to worry more and more about what I was learning about this drug. When I first started off, I drafted this bill as a regulation bill. 21 years of age or older. The more I read, the more that I find out across our state, Mr. President, I wonder if we don't want to ban this substance altogether. And so I have drafted an amendment already for whatever committee this might go to, and so that we can have that conversation. But it's an important policy discussion for us, folks. This is not really all about individual freedom at all. Our first duty is to protect. And Mr. President, thank you. I hope you'll support the bill.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introduction vote, Senate File 56. Anderson? Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Guru? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? Aye. Ide? No. Jones? Aye. Cole? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? Aye. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? Aye. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 56, 29 aye, 1 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 56, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 1, Judiciary. Senate File 57, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 57, Transparency in Hospital Service Pricing, sponsored by Senator Brennan.
Thank you. Senator Brennan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate File 57, Transparency in Hospital Service Pricing, and would ask for your favorable aye vote. Ladies and gentlemen, last year we saw a bill similar to this with hospitals and their need for hospital price transparency. And we had great discussion and debate that we know that we all want to be able to go to the hospital and know exactly what that price is and what we're going to pay for the services that we receive. We talked about that it was complex. So, situation, but that just wasn't the right time. This year, we have this transparency and hospital service pricing bill to come back. It does what last year's bill did, but in a much better, much cleaner way. So I would ask for your favorable aye vote.
Thank you. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Senate File 57, introduction roll call. Anderson? Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Crum conflict. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Guru? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? Aye. Ide? Aye. Jones? Aye. Kolb? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? Aye. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? Aye. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 57, 29 aye, 1 conflict, 1 excused.
Senate File 57, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 10, Labor. Senate File 61, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 61, motor vehicle sales to family members not taxable, sponsored by Senator Jones.
Senator Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate File 61, motor vehicle sales to family members not taxable, and ask for your favorable consideration. Today, when a vehicle is transferred between family members and there's no loan attached, most people just fill out a bill of sale for $0 and there's no sales tax due. That reflects the reality that it's just a family transfer. However, when there is a loan in place on the vehicle, the situation does change, and the state does require that sales tax be paid on that outstanding loan balance, even though it's just being transferred between immediate family members. So actually, you're being taxed on the debt and not the sale, and it seems like double taxation. So this bill, Senate File 61, provides a fix for that. It recognizes that the transfer between immediate family members is not the same as an arm's length commercial sales transaction. So if for estate planning or divorce, financial hardship, or just helping out a child or a parent, then this creates an unnecessary burden on transferring these cars. So this bill does not create a loophole for the dealers or unrelated private sales. It's only for immediate family members, which is a parent, child, spouse, or sibling. This lets us keep a little bit more money in our pockets, and it keeps the families from being taxed on a transaction that's not a true sale and just a transfer between family members. I appreciate your favorable consideration on this bill.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Introduction roll call, Senate File 61, Anderson? Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Guru? Aye. Hicks? Aye. Hutchings? Aye. Ide? Aye. Jones? Aye. Kolb? Aye. Landon? Aye. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? I. Pappas excuse Pearson. I. Rothfuss. I. Salazar. I. Schuler. I. Scott. I. Steinmetz. I. President Beitman.
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 61, 30 aye, 1 excused.
Senate File 61, having received 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 3, Revenue. Senate File 64, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 64, Investment in Wyoming Housing, sponsored by Senator Brennan.
Senator Brennan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would move Senate File 64, Invest in Wyoming Housing, and ask for your favorable consideration. Members of the body, we know that housing and affordable housing in Wyoming is an issue. And there's several things that can be done that we as a body can do to help that issue, and this bill attempts to just address one of those issues. What this bill does is it creates a revolving door loan with $30 million to governments and nonprofits to help in construction and the infrastructure of affordable housing. There is already been some debate and ideas on, is this do we have the perfect places and the right amounts in this bill? I would offer that we get this bill introduced and that we work the bill and make adjustments as we need to. Our citizens need affordable housing. As our kids grow up and as they graduate and they start their own lives, they're gonna be able to need housing that they can afford so that they can stay in the state. So I would ask for your favorable aye vote.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will please call the roll.
Senate File 64, introduction. Anderson. Aye. Barlow. Aye. Boner. Aye. Brennan. Aye. Case. No. Cooper. Aye. Crago. Aye. Crum. No. Dockstetter. Aye. Driscoll. Aye. French. No. Guru. Aye. Hicks. No. Hutchings. No. Ide. No. Jones. Aye. Cole. No. Landon. Aye. Larson. No. Love. No. McEwen. No. Nethercott. Aye. Olson. Aye. Pappas excuse Pearson. No. Rothfuss. Aye. Salazar. No. Schuler. Aye. Scott. Aye. Steinmetz. No. President Beitman.
No.
No. Dockstetter, aye to no. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 64, 15 aye, 15 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 64, having failed to receive a 2/3 majority vote, Senate File 64 has failed introduction. Senate File 66, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 66, Donated Hunting Licenses Amendment, sponsored by Senator French.
Thank you, Senator French.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would move for the introduction of Senate File 66 and would ask for your favorable consideration. Up in Park County, there's a group of volunteers that help the disabled hunters. And they came to me and asked if I would propose this amendment to tweak the existing legislation. It's pretty simple. They wanted to change the language from not less than 12 years old to 12 and older, because that's the legal hunting age. They also wanted to take out the word "or" in the legislation and include a person who is vision impaired. So it's pretty simple. It was their recommendation. I'm just doing it upon their request. They do excellent work. They have a lot of volunteers that help those that are disabled, blind, whatever, you know. What's that saying? But for the grace of God go thee. You know, they do really excellent work. And this is something they brought to my attention. So hopefully you'll vote favorably. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will please call the roll.
Introduction vote, Senate File 66. Anderson? Aye. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Cooper? Aye. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? Aye. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Guru? Aye. Hicks? No. Hutchings? Aye. Ide? Aye. Jones? Aye. Cole? Aye. Landon? No. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? Aye. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? Aye. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? Aye. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Guru? Guru, aye to no. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 66, 27 aye, 3 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 66, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 6, Travel. Senate File 67, first reading of the bill.
Senate File 67, Wyoming State Guard Amendment, sponsored by Senator Larson.
Thank you. Senator Larson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate File 67, Wyoming State Guard Amendments, and ask for your favorable consideration. It's a simple bill. We've seen it in the past a couple times. I think it's important. I need to make sure I designate that this has nothing to do with the National Guard, doesn't take any dollars from the National Guard. It's already in statute, but the bill gives the governor the ability to set up the state guard. It takes out any reference to the federal government, and it takes out where currently in the bill that the National Guard would have to be deployed totally from the state before it could be set up. But I think it's important that if our National Guard is deployed, we should have a backup and something ready. But essentially sets up dollars will be given to the governor to set up a council of defense. He'll be able to appoint some members, and then they can discuss where they may want to go from there. But I think it's a good bill. We should get prepared. Thanks.
Thank you, Senator. Chief Clerk will call the roll.
Senate File 67, introduction vote. Anderson? No. Barlow? Aye. Boner? Aye. Brennan? Aye. Case? Aye. Cooper? No. Crago? Aye. Crum? Aye. Dockstetter? No. Driscoll? Aye. French? Aye. Guru? No. Hicks? No. Hutchings? Aye. Ide? Aye. Jones? No. Cole? No. Landon? No. Larson? Aye. Love? Aye. McEwen? Aye. Nethercott? No. Olson? Aye. Pappas excused. Pearson? Aye. Rothfuss? Aye. Salazar? Aye. Schuler? Aye. Scott? Aye. Steinmetz? Aye. President Beitman?
Aye.
Aye. Closing vote. Closing. Vote closed. Senate File 67, 21 aye, 9 no, 1 excused.
Senate File 67, having received a 2/3 majority vote, is referred to Committee Number 1, Judiciary. Senate File 71, first reading of the bill. Madam Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we stand recessed until 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's music to my ears. Any announcements? Nope. Okay, all right. We good? Oh, okay, yep. All right, so let's go to announcements. Senator Anderson, you're up first.
Mr. President, your Minerals Committee will meet tomorrow upon noon recess, Capitol Room W004 and online to hear bill numbers, Joint Resolution 1, State Management Federal Mineral Leases, and Senate File 17, Good Neighbor Authority Amendments. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Cates.
Yes, Mr. President, thank you very much. Your committee number 7, Corporations, will meet tomorrow morning after taking in spring training today with the pitchers and catchers and getting those reports. We're going to take up at 8 a.m. Senate File 28, Elections, Voting Machine and Voting System Tests. Senate File 30, Elections, Voter Registration Revisions. Senate File 31, Uniform Mortgage Modification Act. And Senate File 32, 911 funding. 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Thank you,
Get her
Senator.
done.
Let's get her done. Senator Schuler.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Education Committee will meet tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, in a different room, W006, not our usual room. We'll be looking at bills, Senate File 14, Literacy Position for K-3 Reading Program, and Senate File 18, Attendance of Students in K-12 Schools.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Salazar.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Senate Appropriations Committee meeting will meet at 12:15 in the Senate Appropriations Room on the 3rd floor. We'll be dealing with Senate File 37, K-12 School Facilities Maintenance and Appropriations.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Senator Brennan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Labor, Health, and Social Services Committee will meet tomorrow. My announcement has some different time and room that I need to get cleared up. But we will be meeting tomorrow on Senate File 4, Medicaid rate increases, EMS services, Senate File 6, eligibility for Medicaid criteria, and Senate File 5, hospital bankruptcy pricing if time permits.
Thank you very much. Any further announcements? Senator McEwen.
Yes, Mr. President, the Revenue Committee will be meeting tomorrow upon lunch break. We will take up Senate File 39, long-term homeowner tax exemption, sunset repeal, Senate File 79, sales and use tax reorganization, and Senate File 80, Department of Revenue Electronic Communications. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, you've all heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. Senate stands adjourned, or stands recessed until 2 p.m.